As soon as I get myself up, I will. I don't know how long it's going to take for this thing to charge. Huh? Yeah, because I'm not using my phone. Start the show. It's cool. Okay.
And here we go.
Good evening and welcome to another edition of the Sarcast. I am your host, Steve Library, and joining me as he does every week, Mr. Robert Rennie.
What's up?
What's up, brother man?
I'm a little upset at that intro.
What's wrong with the intro?
I wanted you to repeat how you did it last week.
Where I just had like mad energy?
Yeah, dude, you were like, the Sarcast. This week you're like, welcome to the Sarcast.
It's not the same without a crowd. We had people there in front of us. It's a performance at that point. It's different. It's just different.
I disagree.
Huh? I'm sorry.
I should have did it. I need one right now.
Welcome to another edition of the Sarcast.
All right,
Is that better?
Yes, that's good. Now everyone else is ready.
Probably just blew out some air drums.
All right. They liked it.
That was good fade by you too, by the way.
I know. I've been working on that all week.
It's terrible, man. What's good? What's good with you?
Not much. Just a busy time,
Yeah.
I went
Same.
to Bloomsburg last week.
What are you doing in Bloomsburg?
I went for a college tour with Nate.
Wild, dude. It's so crazy that like you're at that point. Like I'm thinking about that point. My kid's only in 10th grade, but like we're talking like SATs and shit now. And
Well, so
this is your first college tour, right?
Yeah.
First one.
I got an SAT story for you.
Fire. You forgot to take them or you overslept for them?
No, bro.
God.
We've tried to take them 4 times now.
Okay.
Every time they get canceled because of Corona.
All right.
So we did like the SAT prep course. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
He went to community for like 8 weeks on a Saturday to do the prep course.
Right.
Whatever it was. I think it was like 8 weeks. So he goes, whatever. We lined it up perfect, dude. The course, 1 week off. The next Saturday, he takes the test.
Right.
Does the whole course. Everything's fine. Between the time the course ended and the time he was supposed to, Corona shut the world down.
So, like, when they're canceling it, are they saying that there was an outbreak amongst like students? Like, what's their reasoning for it? Because a lot of these schools are going back. Like, you can't schedule something, take money for it, and then say, "Oh, it's canceled because of Corona."
But they just keep canceling it. The schools are not opening or like not letting them do it or whatever it is, or towns or.
Are your kids back in class yet?
Nope. So there's like a whole plan. November 9th is supposed to be like the start.
Right.
And it's only going to be 2 days in class.
Same.
3 days.
And they're fighting about it back and forth. And I mean, it doesn't affect me like the way that it affects other people, but I think some of these people are just complaining because they're not getting any childcare. Like childcare is a big deal for most people who have to work.
You mean just leaving their kids, like let them go to school?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like the big thing for them is like they'll say socialization, but they never make their kids go out. Their kids sit at home all day playing Fortnite. But like the only reason they're bitching and complaining, a bunch of Karens and Carls, are because they don't have anybody to watch their kids during the day.
Are we calling them Carls? I thought we were calling them Steves.
Why would we call them Steves?
Keiths.
No, Steves, Keiths, those are both cool.
Nah.
Carls are suspect. Very sus.
I mean, I couldn't agree more with that. So.
Right? Do you know any Carls where you're not like, I don't really trust that dude?
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
And if they spell it with a K, there's a good chance they're stealing from like the company.
Oh my God, dude.
Like they're dipping into the
Will you
company
stop?
funds. Why?
Dead serious. Stop.
Is there
I can't talk about this anymore.
Why? Is there a Carl at your work stealing from the company?
Maybe.
With a K?
Yeah.
That's funny. That wasn't even prepped. Well, now
Yeah.
you kind of got it. You got to kind of allude to something.
I'm not talking about that. Move on.
We'll talk about that after.
Yeah, we can talk about that all there.
That's funny, man. So I got a couple things. So I went to the dentist yesterday, right?
I want to do something real quick during the show, though.
What do you want to do?
So I just
If
got
you try to show me, God,
So
I don't want to say
I
it.
just got a text.
Okay.
It says, "Hi, Robert. I'm William with Conservative Voters of PA.
Mm-hmm.
Vote by mail is new in PA. It's safe, secure, and easy. Have you requested a mail-in ballot?" So for the next hour, I want to troll this guy.
I mean, do what you want to do.
Every text I get, though, I want to read on air.
Listen.
I want people to comment with answers.
So they're just firing out these text messages to like random numbers at this point. So yesterday I went to the dentist, right? I had to get 2 teeth pulled and a root canal.
Ooh. Ah.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
It's impressive that I'm even here. One of them was a wisdom tooth. It was long overdue. I'm still 40. I'm 41 and I have 3 out of 4 wisdom teeth gone. I still have 1 left. That one's taken. I'm taking that one to the grave. So it occurred to me that there's a lot of times in life where we get things done where I'm assuming that the people that are there talk to you just to like break the tension. So it's just not dead silence.
Okay.
Right. Let's last time you were at the dentist.
6 months ago.
So do you ever find that like the dental assistant will have a conversation with the dentist while you're in the chair and you're just kind of looking back and forth with them like this? Like you got side eye, and your mouth's like wide open and you're like, like I'm throwing my hand up. I need suction. Like, so I kind of feel like the dentist like felt where I was coming from. Like I didn't say anything, but so they're doing the root canal. They put this like, it's almost like a torn up rubber glove and they wrap it around your tooth. So that's all they're working on is just that one section and it doesn't get anywhere else. And at one point as he's drilling out the tooth, a piece of it like flipped up into my eye. So I'm like, wait, I got to get it out. So the dentist assistant, like I again, this isn't like if you do this and we'll talk about some other times that this happens. If you do this, it's fine. Like I get why you're doing it, but it's weird for the person in your chair. And I hope you know that.
Mm-hmm.
So she just looks at the other dentist, like he's literally in the middle of drilling my tooth out. And she goes, "So did you go to that dinner party?" And he's like, and she goes, "You know, the one that you're supposed to go to with, it was like the guy's night out or whatever." And he's just quiet for a second. He goes, "Yeah, that's this weekend." And she's like, "Oh, you probably have a good time." And then she's just like conversing back and forth with him. And I'm like, this fucker's like knee deep in my tooth. Shut up. Let him do his thing. Or when the girl is cleaning my teeth, like when I'm getting like my scalings done or whatever, and they have to do that like once every whatever it is.
And they're trying to have a conversation with you.
Like, yeah, like you can't ask me a fucking question as you got a spike in my fucking mouth. Like it's not doable. I'm just going, and like they want to ask you like a yes or no question where I can blink twice for no, once for yes. It's like they want an answer. Like, so what's going on with your kids? How's everything with school? And it's like, I can't fucking answer that question. Like,
I got the answer now.
God,
it just should be
right. Like there's no rhyme or reason for you to try to have a conversation with me at this time. Like I get that you're just trying to break the tension. So it's like when you're getting your hair cut, does the barber try to talk to you?
Yeah, we conversate a little bit.
Right. But like it's uncomfortable forced conversation, right?
I mean, it depends on what we're talking about or what like.
So I'm assuming there's girl things that they talk about when they go there, but like for the guys, it's sports. If you hit us with sports, we'll chat about sports, and that's pretty much it.
Sports, sometimes it's certain things in culture, or like for instance, my barbershop has like 3 TVs up on the wall, so they watch random things. Like you could go in there and you could watch a comedy show, like could be on the thing, or it could be friggin' like a movie. So like you conversate about whatever, that, or basketball comes up or football or whatever.
Right. It's generally about like current events or whatever. Like when I used to go to the female barbers, like we talk pop culture, but other than that, like I don't really have anything to talk to you about. And like anything beyond that, like anything beyond how's your family is forced at that point. And then it's just awkward because now you're trying to cut my hair and I'm sweating because I'm just uncomfortable having this conversation. And it's funny because I'm in a sales position, so I generally don't mind talking to people. But when it's forced and I can feel that it's forced, now I feel awkward.
Yeah.
Like when you go to the doctor and he's got your nuts in his hand and he's trying to make you cough and he's like, all right, turn to the left and cough. He's like, so how's everything going? It's like, don't have a conversation with my balls in your hand.
Yeah, just
Yeah, do what you got to do, and then let's move on. And stop looking at me in the eye. Look away from me. I'm looking away. You look away. I was trying to think of other instances like where shit's going down. Like, obviously, if you're like getting a prostate exam, like that's not a good time to talk about your golf game.
Oh, dude, hold on. You just made me think of something.
Fire.
So I have a vasectomy. I had that shit done.
You don't have one. You had one done.
Yeah, I had that shit done.
You don't carry it around in your pocket unless they give you a card and I'm not aware of it.
I have a card. Yeah,
You have
I'll
a
show it to you
vasectomy
later.
card?
Yeah,
Nice.
no, but
Are you supposed to like give it to every like female that you date? Like, I just want you to know this way you don't get fucked over.
no, it's only for when they try to take me in court for child support. I could say, look, it's not mine.
Yeah, you hit it with the fucking vasectomy card.
But so no, like when they did that, I was awake. And
The
it
whole
was a-
time, the whole time you're awake. I didn't
Yeah.
realize this.
the whole time you're awake.
Okay.
Okay, but you're
So
like,
they put like a tarp in front of you so you can't see what's going on down there.
just a little bit, yeah,
Yeah.
but not completely,
Right.
like not like when,
So is that like a reverse stranger?
bro. So listen, so you have the dude over here
Mm-hmm.
and his assistants over here.
Right.
I'm using hand motions. No one could see me right now. Sorry, I'm having problems with my video stuff. Anyway, so they're down here. Your nuts are in the middle, and they're having
Right. So you got one on your left, one on your
and
right.
they're having a conversation.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Like it's
it's not the same-
weirder though, dude. Your
Yes.
dick is taped to your stomach.
it's
Like,
I didn't know that. So they gotta like fluff you up
no,
to get it to tape? Like, what do? They stretch it out?
No, it's that long.
It's not. It's not that long. So it's like taped to your midsection.
It's taped to my stomach.
No,
My
it's
stomach's fat enough to reach.
No, it's not. And then what? They just go in and they do their thing.
They're just going through the
All
middle
right.
of the sack.
So I'm going to claim ignorance here because I obviously have never had this done. If you count my kids, it's clear. So is it underneath the sack or is it between the sack and the shaft?
It's underneath the sack.
So underneath. So they
So it's
technically-
not really underneath. It's kind of the shaft, and then you go around, and it's
Yeah.
like in the middle.
So it's on your balls.
It's in the middle of your balls. Yeah. They only make one incision.
So they do like they stretch it out like bubble
They
gum.
just open it and they just reach
Stretch it.
over and pull your vas deferens over, and they cut it and fry it, and then they just
put it back
clip
together.
it back together and send that shit back in there.
So your balls are just hanging out literally. And they're having a conversation about the weather.
They only pull the vas deferens over, but yeah, your
Don't use medical
shit
terms
is
with
in
me.
the air. Like you're just floating. Like everything's out.
Jesus.
Yeah.
What were they talking about? Do you remember?
I don't.
Do you remember just like looking at the
It's
ceiling
been
going,
over 4 years
yeah.
since
Do
I
you remember
had
just like staring at the ceiling going, please just let this be done?
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's the same thing. Like, I mean, not the same thing. In my mouth, your balls, two different things.
It's just weird.
Yeah.
It's
But
it's
like
absolutely-
like having a conversation with you, like during it. I think medical procedures are probably the big one. Regardless of what you're getting done. Like, don't. I'm sure it's like the same thing with a woman when she's getting a mammogram where they're examining the breast and shit. It's like, don't have a conversation with me while I'm doing this. Like, you're not going to make it any less awkward by doing what you're doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like we don't really like we're not really here for that. Like
No.
let's just get this done and move on.
So when he hits me up yesterday, I got like they do it very what's the word I'm looking for when everything is like systematic. It's like very like
Procedure?
not procedural, like manufacturing line style. They've got one guy who just does root canals. They have one person that just preps the teeth, shit like that. So you go from room to room.
Okay.
So they do
Wait,
it
so
as-
you're changing room the whole time? like-
changed, yeah. So it depends on when you're getting done.
Okay.
So when they did the root canal, the guy does it in one room.
Uh-huh.
And then when I was done that, to go take me to remove the two teeth, which because they were all three in a row, it was all the way back, the wisdom tooth and the two teeth in front of him. And they moved me over to the other room, and then they prepped me up for there. And he finishes cleaning up the tooth that's getting the root canal, puts on the crown, and then he pulls both of the other teeth. And it wasn't as bad. I thought it was going to be way worse than it was, but
When I had my wisdom teeth pulled, I called the dentist, and then she answers the phone, and I said, hello. And I said, let me hold on. Don't say anything else. Just answer the question. Do you put me to sleep to pull my wisdom teeth? And she was like, yes. And I was like, all right, cool. We can continue this conversation.
I was wide awake. They don't put you. They didn't
Nope.
put me to sleep. Nah.
I would listen. I'll put it to you this way: if I would have called and she said we don't put you to sleep, I would have said thank you and I hung up.
Yeah. So if they're impacted and shit, and they've got to like get in there and dig them out, yeah. But like this one, it was shallow. It was all the way in the back, and it was pretty much mostly exposed. It was just a broken tooth at that point. But yeah, like just the conversations that kind of go back and forth. Like you're in such a vulnerable position. I'm just like, all right, we're good on the conversations here.
Yeah, it's just it's weird.
It is definitely weird.
But I feel like any doctor is kind of like that. Like,
yeah,
anytime you're in like a weird position, you're just like, please don't talk. Like, just
absolutely.
Yeah.
I got a quick story from that involves teeth. That just coincidentally I had. I'm just pulling it up right now. So, toothbrush removed from man's stomach after he swallowed it while brushing.
How the fuck do you swallow a toothbrush?
So he's obviously lying. Like this is one of those things where you accidentally get an animal stuck in your ass and you go, "Oh, he ran up there on his own." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, listen, if you don't know what I'm talking about, Google that. That happens all the time. I would assume, and I mean, I can find out the answer if I want to. The amount of people who wind up in the emergency room with things stuck in their ass would probably surprise you.
Oh, dude, it's ridiculous.
It would probably surprise you.
No, it wouldn't. And not me, at least. Some people.
Why, has it happened to you?
No, it's not happened to me.
You show back up? You show up the second
I've
time?
done enough.
Did it again.
I've done enough on the internet to see these pages where literally
Why are you looking this up?
It's just scrolling and then you look at certain pages. It shows you this stuff.
That's bizarre.
No, it's not.
But it happens a lot.
Yeah.
So doctors removed the 19-centimeter long toothbrush, which is standard, within 24 hours, fearing that leaving it in any longer could have been fatal.
Okay.
The patient, 39, whose name has been withheld, was brushing his teeth on September 15th when it slipped.
Come on, dude. Slipped.
He rushed to a nearby health clinic, which quickly referred him to the hospital more than 100 kilometers away. What is that? Like 50 miles?
A little bit. Yeah.
Where is this anyway? I don't even know what state it's in. Probably the UK somewhere. You guys are fucking weird over there. He rushed to a nearby hospital. An x-ray and further tests couldn't locate the brush in the man's throat, leading doctors to conclude that it was in his stomach. A minor operation was performed a short time later, and the brush was removed. The man remained in the hospital while he recovered and was discharged a few days later. So they said the esophageal procedure was conducted on September 16th, but the toothbrush couldn't be found in the esophagus, the muscular tube connecting the pharynx at the stomach, and that meant that the toothbrush had entered the stomach. This guy, it's a straight up regular Crest Colgate toothbrush. There's nothing fucking special about it. My man swallowed a toothbrush.
How though?
Like, you're just a danger to yourself and to society at that point. They probably should have let him die.
First off, dude, think about this, okay? Now, how do you swallow a straight, like, it's straight?
He fucking said it slipped.
But bro, think about this, okay?
Right.
It's what, 7 inches, 6 inches?
Right.
Okay.
Well,
and
if you measure it next to yours, it's probably fucking much smaller, mister. I tape it to my stomach.
No, they did that. I didn't.
Thanks for clarifying.
So, but it's like, it's not like flexible.
I know.
So how to like for instance, like,
so the only logical thing is, like, my man overdid it with the toothpaste because at 39, he doesn't fucking know what he's doing yet. And he got it real foamy. And maybe he was like cleaning the roof of his mouth or, trying to get it back in his throat, and fucking his hands were all foamy and it slipped. And then he accidentally swallowed a fucking toothbrush. It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make sense.
It's illogical.
Yeah.
Like, he did that shit on purpose. He tried to commit suicide by swallowing a fucking toothbrush. He's the type of guy who burns down his house making a bowl of cereal. Like, it just doesn't make any goddamn sense. It doesn't. It's how?
I don't know.
Right?
Yeah, that's just insane.
You can't accidentally do that.
No. You should not.
Under any circumstances.
No, dude, that's just what the, like, I would have just puked immediately.
Apparently it ain't coming up.
No,
so
I meant, like, I wouldn't even have been able to swallow it.
Yeah. I found 2 cool things. I go on Reddit a lot. Reddit's where I get a lot of stories from, because Reddit's just a straight up community of just awesomeness. Let me see if I can find this first one here. I'm just going to ask you this. If you got a letter from your neighbors letting you know that they were going to start enforcing a dress code
Like a dress code where? At
in the
home?
neighborhood,
What?
Yeah.
Bro, I'm going to say it this way. I'm going to violate that dress code every single way I can.
So somebody put this out on the book, I guess it was. And the person like threw it out there as a comment, letting everybody knows. It says, my sister lives in a nice neighborhood in Dallas, and someone in her community recommended a neighborhood dress code. And this is what it says. Neighborhood dress code. Has anyone ever thought about the positive impact on property value that enforcing a neighborhood dress code might have? I'd feel more comfortable if I knew what to expect to see when I went out every day. I imagine that could make our values skyrocket over the next 12 to 19 months. Sure, it could, Adolf. Isn't that exactly how the Nazis started? We all want you to look exactly alike and wear exactly the same thing.
Yeah, dude, you better get out of here with that. I'm telling you.
Right. What are you going to show up wearing? Are you going to fucking follow it, or are you going to move?
I'm not following it.
Well, they're going to shame you. You're going to get shamed for not wearing the khaki pants and the fucking flannel shirt.
Go ahead, have at it.
What do you think it is? This guy said, happy to get a Zoom call together for anyone interested in pursuing this with me. Let me hear from you.
Dude, come on. They got to be kidding me.
No, it's dead serious, bro.
I don't know, dude. I would just like violate it the whole time. Like I would never wear it.
That's an unnecessary thing, right?
Yeah, like completely. Why would you ever do that?
I don't know.
Why would you like ever? You know what I mean?
Yes, I do know what you mean.
Like, dude, if they told you couldn't wear a basketball jersey outside of your house, like on your street,
no, it violates the dress code.
you'd be like, I'm wearing a basketball jersey every single time.
Well, I mean, like there's condo associations and homeowners associations that are very firm on like certain things.
Yeah, but they say you can't paint your house black.
No, you can't paint your house. You have to paint it a very specific color so it all matches.
Yeah, but like
your fence can only be one color. Your mailbox can only be a certain height and it can be a certain color. You can't put these color shutters on. Like you have a bunch of guidelines and rules. Hey, there he is. You have a bunch of guidelines and rules that you have to follow. And if you don't, like, I don't know what they do if they fine you or whatever. Like if you're not wearing a uniform that the fucking neighborhood picked out to skyrocket their property value.
I don't care. I'm not wearing a uniform.
Listen, I think if you do really, really well, you get graduated up to the SS uniform.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly why I'm not doing it.
It's pretty ridiculous. I guarantee that happens in like some cities over in like Europe and shit.
Yeah, it happens, but I'm not doing it. I'm out completely.
Oh, you're out on that?
Yeah, I'm not wearing no damn uniform.
All right. In 2010, Tokyo officials went to congratulate the oldest person in the city on his 111th birthday. But instead, they found his skeleton remains. He had been dead for 30 years, and his family was enjoying his pension money that they were still receiving. You know what pisses me off about this story?
What?
Like, why don't they check in on the guy to like celebrate his centennial?
Why are they dicks?
But his family? It's
all of them.
Fucking money. I mean, listen, I'm not justifying what they did. I get it though.
That must have been a lot of money.
That shit happens all the time here too. But the funny thing is, like, why does the government just roll up like when it's like somebody needs to check on that shit when the guy's 101, 102? We're just doing an audit, just making sure everything's still good.
Yeah.
Like, what does the family do every time he calls? Oh, he's in the bathroom. He's in the bathroom right now. He can't talk. Oh, he's getting a bath. Nana's giving him a sponge bath. Like, how do you lie to government for that long? 30 years?
I don't know.
That kind of shit wouldn't happen here.
Yeah,
First off, somebody would have ratted him out. That neighbor who wants the dress code would have been like, yo, that guy's been dead for 30 years.
Yeah, I haven't seen that guy outside at all.
He's not wearing his fucking uniform. The fact that they kept the skeleton for 30 years is even more suspect. Just fucking bury it in the yard at that point.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
there's very weird stories you hear, but more about shit like this stuff.
Oh, hell yeah.
Where like family members actually put their like dead family member in a freezer.
Yeah.
And no one knows for years and years and years. Like, dude, like dead serious. If I didn't come out of my house, someone would be like, yo, where the fuck is Rob at?
I'd question it.
Someone would, right?
Maybe. Probably just be me. Maybe your kids.
No, I think Joe would too. He'd be like, "Why the fuck ain't Rob answering the phone? I'm
Nope.
trying to call him every fucking day. You don't answer."
After the second time that you called and didn't answer, he'd be like, fuck that guy then. If he's going to be an asshole like that, I'm not calling him anymore. I'm going to say the majority of our friends would be like that. Fuck him. He's ducking me. He doesn't even owe me money and he's acting like he is. No, I'm not talking to him anymore. It's true.
I mean, I don't.
You don't answer twice, they're blowing you off thinking you're being the asshole. Turns out you've been dead for 2 weeks.
Yeah, and they just decided to call me 2 weeks. Fuck is that?
You want to hear a fantastic conversation piece?
Okay.
A Connecticut gallery owner, Fernando Alvarez, was arrested after dropping a 10-foot long, 800-pound sculpture of a heroin spoon in front of Purdue Pharma's headquarters and says he plans to gift more spoons to other drug companies as well as politicians and doctors.
I use crack cocaine.
It's close.
That's
So he took it's an actual fucking spoon, and he took the handle of the spoon. It goes out and squares off, so it just sits upright, and it looks like there's fucking
How big is
heroin in the
this thing?
spoon. It's 10 foot.
10 foot. Holy shit! So
10
it's like
foot.
the blow up rat that the union people put out.
What's that?
Like a blow up rat the union people put out in front.
Well,
of
it's not a
non-union.
blow up. This
I
is
know,
straight up.
just-
It's 800 pounds.
Whoa.
Yeah, like he had to have this delivered. He paid for it, had it sculpted, and then has it put out there. And I hope that he fires them in front of everybody.
Dude.
They're
So
all
what did the
culpable.
company do?
What's that?
The company had it removed, right?
Oh, I would hope so.
I mean, but it's 800 pounds. So he
Yeah, where do you
definitely,
put
like,
it though? You probably, you know
throw it
what?
in the
You know what?
dumpster.
Those scrappers are like, just put it up on Facebook. I'll come get it.
What's it made of?
Metal.
Like steel? This dude like
Iron,
carved this
yeah.
thing,
He didn't carve it,
welded it.
Yeah.
Wow. He went through a lot
He
to
forged
do this.
it.
Yeah. That's impressive though. And what company did he put it in front of?
Wait a second. What do we? Are the phones active? Do the phones work? We can call, right?
No, really.
Give me a phone number because I need to hear this story.
What is it?
So Scott Gonzalez says we got a fire call 2 years ago for a guy that was
All right,
deceased
tell him to call me.
and his daughter was a little crazy. We got there. She said he was in the back room and he'd be dead for months, completely decomposed. She told us she wasn't ready to let go. I mean, what the fuck shit is that?
Tell him, give him my number. Tell him to call me.
I got it. We're good, I think. That's crazy.
All right. That is crazy. But there are firefighter stories, and oh, dude, there's some stuff I see that's like, so a buddy of mine gets some stuff from a buddy of his that's like really gruesome.
Yeah.
Like, and you see some shit that just like happened and went down.
Right.
Like, for instance, something happened the other night where it was a murder suicide, and I may have seen like the inside of the house.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Crazy.
You want to see the photo?
No, because I know it's going to be a dick pic, and if it's not, then it's still going to be gross either way.
All right, it's not a dick pic.
I bet. I'm
All
falling for that again.
All
For the
right,
fifth time. You want to hear a local story?
yeah, let's go.
I don't know why that this actually appeared in the Inquirer on the 7th, so about a week ago. Up to 1,500 birds flew into some of Philly's tallest skyscrapers one day last week. The slaughter shook bird watchers. So,
Oh, I think I read about this, but yeah.
all right. So last week was like part of like the beginning of the Great Migration. Every year birds fly south, and for whatever reason, they like gear up for it. Like it's kind of like a planned event. Like they know this is the day we're going to do it. They all migrate together.
Yeah, one day I was out riding and like a whole flock of
Right.
massive
You'll notice
flock.
it when it happens. It's just slews of birds,
It's like a V flying through the sky.
but a bunch of them just repeatedly.
Yeah.
Like hundreds of thousands of birds just flying, all flying south at the same time. And then they periodically stop at different places on the way down. Like it's a fucking legit road trip for them.
Okay.
Honey pack the kids. I got to go to the bathroom, that kind of thing. So I'm guessing because cities no longer use like bricks when they build skyscrapers,
Okay.
they're all glass.
Yeah.
So that glass
So they just started flying into the glass.
Fucking fly into glass all the time. Can you imagine if you're working in like one of those like center city towns, whether it's New York here or wherever, and like you're just sitting at your desk and boom, boom, boom. And by the third one, I'm going to the boss. I'm working from home today. Why? Because 3 birds just hit the fucking window and I can't concentrate knowing that there's fucking birds committing suicide right at my fucking window. Just kamikazeing. So
I would have to video it first a little bit.
this probably happened yesterday.
There's definitely a video out of it somewhere.
This probably happened yesterday. Said so. Stephen Masajewski dropped on to a knee on Center City sidewalk Wednesday morning and gently scooped up a yellow-billed cuckoo that had smashed into a skyscraper and died on its way to Central America or the West Indies. This probably happened yesterday.
Know where that was going?
Kind of bird. He knows where they're migrating. So this was actually a bigger event than just the normal what happens. But so Masajewski is a 71-year-old retired social worker and volunteer for Audubon, Pennsylvania. He labeled a plastic bag with date, time, and location, tucked the slim migrator into it, and continued his round. He gets emotional when he speaks about all the birds he finds, but nothing, he says, prepared him for what happened on Friday. So many birds were falling out of the sky. We didn't really know what was going on, he said, choking up. It's really a catastrophic event. The last time something like this happened was in 1948. On Friday, an estimated 1,000 to 1,500 birds flew into buildings in a 3.5-block radius of Center City overnight and into early morning during what Masajewski called a perfect storm of avian calamity. He collected 400 birds between 5 and 8 a.m. in the radius he regularly covers, roughly spanning 17th to 19th streets between Market and JFK.
Wow.
That's wild, bro.
So they were basically just flying into the Comcast tower.
He said, there were so many, I was picking up 5 at a time. One guy from building maintenance dumped 75 living and dead birds in front of me as if it were a collection. He logs each bird, noting its flight path, time, and location of impact. He said there were so many birds, he ran out of supplies. Yeah.
There's a story on it. Not coming out, though. Go ahead, though.
He said, it appears the weather events lined up for the worst during what is likely the peak of migratory birds flights from Canada, Maine, and upstate New York, and elsewhere towards Central and South America. A sudden plunge in temperatures could have prompted the birds to start their flights en masse. In Philadelphia, brought low cloud cover, light rain, and a full moon, and all of which could have pushed the birds lower. And bam, bam, bam.
So that was what it was, basically?
Yeah, she said it's just a perfect storm of what happened because of the temperatures pushing them lower. They're not flying above the buildings. They're just fucking flying into them. Like a bug on a windshield.
What do you think about that? If they went a mile to the east, they would have just flew right down the river and been all right.
Yeah. I'm not going to assume that birds are as smart as we are. But they have to notice that somebody's missing. Should we circle back?
To Johnny?
Should we circle back? Nope. It was just his time.
What happened to Johnny?
Yeah. Should we circle back?
Nope.
No bird left behind. I mean, it's sad for the birds, but kind of.
I mean, it's crazy. It's weird. Like,
I got one for you.
Because you would think, like, how? I don't even know.
You might have heard this because you fucking jack off to trains.
Yeah.
That's your go-to.
I hate trains.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen you watch the taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3 and nonstop. Like you literally want to.
I call out every line of the show.
I know.
I hate it.
Listen, you hang on to it. Like
done. Go ahead. What do you got?
Rail workers suspended after man cave found under the railway.
Oh, dude, I heard about this story.
I know you heard about it.
Now this is impressive. For 2+ years, I think they had a room in the subway.
Yep.
Where they would just hang out.
So this is the best visual that I can give on this, but I'm sure that it's not just New York, but this happened in New York. I'm sure other cities deal with this as well. So I guess when they built the train stations, they went really, really low underground, like really low underground.
Mm-hmm.
And there's so many sub levels of trains
Tracks.
like tracks in multiple cities that you don't even realize that there's whole like stations that have been abandoned underneath where you're waiting at.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah.
There's it's all over New York. That's where the mole people live.
Yes.
They live in the lower stations. So it's not absurd for them to find something and go, well, nobody's ever going to come down here
Like
ever.
so for instance, like this is a pretty cool thing, I think. But so Madison Square Garden, like the actual like where they play sports,
Yeah.
is actually on like the 7th level of the building.
Right.
Because underneath there's like multiple layers and
Mhm.
like they run like 5 different trains into that building.
Right. From all over the city.
Yeah.
But in New York, like it's very well known, like the mole people, they live underground. There's like an underground city that these people fucking live in.
Yes.
And there's thousands of them down there, and they're called the mole people. They actually go out, they actually have real jobs. They go and they surface up to go to work every day, and then they fucking go back down under the train tracks. But so like, if you ever seen Ghostbusters, there's a scene where they bust open the street and they like hang suspended, and Dan Aykroyd's down, and he's like, "Oh, it's an old air shaft or whatever." Like those exist. That's real. That's a
Yes.
real thing.
Yeah.
So that's basically what this is. It's an unmarked storage closet that these guys found on a sub level, and they fucking turned it into a man cave. They brought in a futon, a microwave,
An Xbox.
They had fucking a fridge filled.
They had beer.
Yeah, so this is how they got fucked up, because they used to hang out and get drunk and party in the room during the day while they were supposed to be working.
Yeah.
Like if they would have just treated it like a chill spot and just fucking kept it quiet, like I think everybody can relate to this in the sense that we've all worked somewhere where we've created a fort.
Yeah, like when we worked in the medical place, dude. Like
Right,
we
up
used
on
to
the top
leave-
shelf. Yeah.
We used to top shelf where we would even leave like
A mattress. So you
we
can take
put
it
the
out.
really tall skid in front of the shelf, but nothing behind, like just
Yes.
enough behind it where you could go sit down.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you go take a nap. Like what's the movie with Dane Cook? Where him and Dak, what you call it, work at the supermarket. They work at like the Walmart. I can't think of the name of it, but up on the very, very top shelf, they have a toilet paper fort.
Mm-hmm.
That's where they go and they fucking hang out. They have to have the one guy. Yeah.
Or in the like Sam's Club.
Yeah. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
But theirs is a little different. So what pissed me off and why I even brought this story up was,
Well, actually, what the main reason they got in trouble is because they were basically stealing overtime and shit.
yeah, but that aside,
Okay.
they deserve to, because they created a fucking break room, basically. They got snitched. Somebody snitched them out.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this guy wanted into the club.
And they wouldn't let him in.
They were like, nah, man, your name's not on the club. And he's like, yeah, but my girl's in there. And they were like, lots of guys' girls are in there. So this dude gets pissed off because he can't go in there. And then he goes to the fucking bosses and he fucking snitches them out, dude. Like after 2 years.
It's ridiculous.
Like
Are you
he's
being
more
a
culpable
snitch?
than it. Yeah, like don't do that. These are supposed to be your union brothers.
No one's gonna like that.
They're
dude now,
definitely union.
ever.
No,
Oh, yeah.
he fucking did it anonymous. He probably used the hotline too. He didn't even write an anonymous letter. He called the fucking hotline.
He
You know
called
the hotline.
ethics hotline.
There's a hotline. Every company has a hotline.
There's an ethics hotline.
Fuck right. He called that. The room was deemed a fire hazard because it was unmapped, meaning that rescue workers would have difficulty finding it. That was the fucking point. It's supposed to be difficult to
So
find.
that's how they
They
shut
had
it
a
down.
fucking flat screen in there too.
Oh yeah, dude. They spent money on this thing.
Yeah.
Like they literally were just chilling, like working, supposed to be working, you know, like I gotta go down here. And then they're like, yo, why is everyone hanging at 22nd Street?
It's a Grand Central Terminal too. Fucking right. These guys shouldn't be fired. They should be commended.
They were probably signal guys too.
Probably. Probably. For those at home that don't know why Rob said that, it's because he's a signal guy.
They're the only ones smart enough to do it. Definitely track workers can't
Hell
do
yeah.
this. None of them are listening
A
anyway.
couple more stories. So do you know what sustainable packaging is, Rob?
Like it can be thrown.
No, sustainable, not fucking throwable.
Okay.
Sustainable means that it's you can break it down.
Okay.
So would
Like-
you feel like a bitch
Like
if you were trying?
cardboard?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So Johnny Walker's paper bottle is just one step in a wider race towards sustainable packaging. So can you imagine a time where we no longer drink out of plastic bottles? Like I'm sure that they said the same thing about glass bottles. Like, well, always drink out of glass bottles.
Right.
or aluminum cans. Can you imagine drinking a beer out of a fucking cardboard box?
That would be weird.
Right. So Johnny Walker has created, and says collaboration is the way to go when it comes to tackling climate change. Like many large manufacturers, Diageo, who makes found that a lot of its carbon footprint is produced early on in the supply chain. It has to do with like emissions and shit like that. More companies are focusing on this. They're all asking each other, "What are we doing?" And how do we correct it?
What do you mean? How do you correct it? You spend money on recycling.
Right. So Pulpex is the name of the company. So Diageo worked with venture company Pilot Light to create Pulpex. It's a company that will produce bottles from sustainably sourced wood pulp and invited others in non-competing industries to take part, including PepsiCo and Unilever. Pulpex claims that it'll have the carbon footprint that is 90% less than glass, and the bottles are different to other types of pulp packaging, and they don't have the plastic-based lining, which is harder to extract and recycle. PepsiCo is set to launch products using Pulpex packaging in 2021 in a move that will help lessen its reliance on plastic, which is good for them because they spend shit ton of it on there.
Yeah,
But no, so here's the
how
thing.
much? So they're going to spend less on. It's not about the carbon footprint.
Oh, it's a lot about that. So
No, it's
here's
not.
what my
It's going to
question
cost
is.
them cheaper to make it. They make more money.
Absolutely.
They're not going to lessen the price.
No doubt. Anytime anybody says they're going green, it's generally because they found a way to save money.
Yeah.
People don't go green just because they listen, there's not a single corporation out there, and I don't care what they say. There's not a single corporation that cares about anything other than the bottom line.
Right.
If they go out there and they say that, this is our mission statement, 99% of it's bullshit.
Yeah.
Most companies go green. Like one of my favorite ones is when you go into a bathroom and you see a sign that says, "We use these air dryers because they save on paper towels." No,
Yeah.
it doesn't.
No, it saves money on paper
It saves
towels.
money on paper towels. You could give two shits about fucking the environment. Otherwise, it wouldn't smell like shit in here.
Right, because your electric bill goes up $50 because of air dryers.
Absolutely.
But your toilet paper or I'm sorry, not toilet paper, your hand towels,
right.
That goes down $600.
100%. And they never ever address the fact that by doing this, you might be saving the environment, but you're creating an unsafe environment. Because all of that water now puddles up on the floor right underneath of that fucking dryer. Let me slip. I know you got
fucking
shorts.
dry your hands.
No.
Half of them have them set so low, you're just like.
So my question to you is,
soaked.
I think we've had this conversation, and if anybody's at home wants to chime in on this one, this is a fact. When you drink alcohol, it takes on different tastes based off of what it's packaged in. So, for instance, a beer in a can tastes different than a beer that's in a keg, tastes different than a beer that's in a bottle, tastes different than beer that's in a party ball, if we still had those.
Party balls. Oh.
Yeah, or beers in a can. So every one of those tastes different based off of the material and what it draws out of those materials.
Yeah.
So how much taste are we going to be sacrificing by using these fucking cardboard packaging? Like, is my soda going to taste like fucking cardboard? Then what happens, like with the paper straws, like once I crack it open, is it going to start to break down and like fucking leak in my hand?
So that's what I was thinking. So a couple things. So one is I actually think it'll taste better because of the cardboard.
Why? Whoa.
Because the taste will be.
Does cardboard have a salty taste?
No, it'll just be there. It'll be locked in.
I don't know. I feel like it's going to taste like shit, bro.
I mean, but the other part too, as soon as you said it, I did think like there's going to have to be a shelf life, like on how long these things even last.
Well, I don't know if that's necessarily true. So I drink Atkins shakes. They're like meal replacement shakes, and they come in cardboard containers. Milk comes in a cardboard container. The cardboard container doesn't make it go bad.
I guess it's already made then. So what are they trying to reinvent the wheel then?
Well, no, they're just trying to package it and say we're going green, but basically you're just going to get a carton of soda. Eventually we get back to the day and age. So back in medieval times, everybody carried their own cup. Like you had one fucking cup that was like your ale cup and you like strapped it to your gear And like wherever you went, like you would fucking slam your own cup down on a counter and fill it up, which is awesome because if you own that establishment, you never have any dishes. But you'd fucking carry around your own cup. And like if you got sick, it was because you didn't wash your own shit. Fuck you. But they were like so worried about like, there's a reason they didn't get disease. Like they didn't fucking drink water anywhere they went. They drank alcohol everywhere.
Well, yeah, alcohol kills everything.
Correct. But they didn't drink water.
Have you noticed, like, with the pandemic that we're in, like, that everywhere you go, like, you grab the sanitizer and you're like, it smells like alcohol.
Oh, yeah. It smells like alcohol or weed everywhere I go.
Yeah. Dude, the one sanitizer we have at work, no one will use it.
Why?
Because it smells like alcohol so bad. Like, if you walked past a cop, he'd be like, "Yo, are you drunk?"
Yeah.
Like,
How
nah,
long
I
have you
just
been drinking for?
sanitize my hands.
That's probably because it's loaded with vodka.
Yeah, I mean, sorry about that. Didn't mean to throw you off.
No.
Cardboard.
Cardboard. Yeah. No, you're right.
Cardboard.
That's going to be
But
everything.
it's already there. So you got a good point. It's already there. So there's really going to be no change then, especially
No, they're just
the
changing how
inside of milk isn't like cardboardy. It's smooth.
Yeah, but they like wax it up.
So they're going to probably do the same thing.
Have to do the same thing.
Yeah.
I just worry that it's going to taste awful.
I don't think it will.
I'll tell you what though, like when you're pissed off at somebody and you get to squeeze the cardboard container, like slam it down.
You're
on
in
the
a bar
ground.
fight and you're
Yeah.
just like,
Yeah. It's going to change movies because you no longer are going to have somebody getting a fucking beer bottle broke over their head. Like, what are you going to do? Hit him in the face with a cardboard box?
they're going to be like, yo, I need a case of bottles
Yeah. Just because I'm going to get into a fight
in the scene.
at
Yeah,
this
I got to
bar.
do the scene. Yeah. Oh my God.
It's going to save lives at bars, though. Nobody's getting stabbed anymore.
Think about that though. So you make a good point, right? Like, so at a bar, they're during a busy time, their recycle like bin is constantly full of bottles.
Yep.
Right? What do you think? Hold like one like tall bin can probably hold like
3 cases,
3 cases.
probably.
All right, I was gonna say 100 bottles, but whatever. But so they're if it's all cardboard, dude, like their freaking cost goes down at the bar because you just crumple the shit up.
Yeah,
and just throw it in the trash can.
Yeah, it's all becomes cardboard recyclables.
Yeah, I guess it would save the.
It's going to save the world.
I mean, and it'll it just flakes apart if it gets wet.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
I feel like you somehow in the beginning of this conversation went from no to this could work.
I think so. Yeah, I think I need to figure out how to start like
I'm against it.
a cardboard recycling business.
You should. I'm against it. I think this is a terrible idea. Let's just stick with the plastic and fucking keep destroying the government. Keep destroying the country. I don't care.
You
Let
mean
the world burn. Yeah, let the world burn. I'm good with it.
Nah, I don't want the world to burn.
Let it burn.
I like the world.
Let it burn.
No, I like it. It's fun.
A Kentucky man was arrested after taking a 5-hour bus ride to visit his parents in Illinois. What do you think he was arrested for, Rob?
Being nude on the fucking bus.
One could wish. You want to take another guess at it?
Did he steal the bus?
Nope. Third guess, and this is the charm.
He didn't have a bus ticket.
Would be nice if that was the answer. Kentucky man was arrested after taking a 5-hour bus ride visit to his parents in Illinois with suitcases stuffed with body parts of a woman believed to be his girlfriend.
Ooh.
I mean, if I would have given you another guess, you probably would have nailed it. You would have went body parts, girlfriend, has to be. It's one of these 4 things.
Mm.
Melvin Martin Jr. recently hopped a Greyhound bus in Louisville.
Stop. Melvin Martin?
Yeah, never trust anybody that has 2 first names.
Dude, like,
I know.
how many times does this story work out like that, though? Like, where you're just like, that's his name? Like, of course I'd be creeped out.
Yeah, there's a reason that Stan Lee, every time he wrote a comic, everybody has the same first and last initial. So, like, it's Pepper Potts, it's Peter Parker.
Mm.
It's first and last, every one of them. You never noticed that, did you?
No.
God damn you.
No, but that's interesting.
Yeah, they're all like that. So Melvin Martin recently hopped a Greyhound bus to Louisville, Kentucky with the luggage headed downtown Chicago. Martin Jr.'s parents then took him and unwittingly the bags concealing the dismembered body to their home in Markham. That's even more crazy. Traveling body parts, David Scott, who lives across the street, told CBS. You see stuff like this on TV. Fucking right, you do.
Yo, so listen, ready? So if you're going to do this, right, wouldn't you get on the bus like with unmarked bags? Okay? Don't mark them. Don't put your name on them. You know, your luggage tags, whatever. Like, don't put nothing on them. Okay? When you get there, you just take them off the bus. You walk walk down around the corner, sit them down, and just walk away.
No, it doesn't say what the plan was, but I would have assumed that they would have found out through like dental records or DNA or anything.
Yeah, they would have found out who it was.
It would have been him. So they would have known. The
Okay.
kin soon grew suspicious because Martin Jr. never unpacked the heavy bags after several days, and he kept guarding them. There were some early reports of a foul odor coming from the bags. The family made the grisly discovery on Monday when Martin went out to the library. Of course he did. A human body part was discovered, and they immediately backed away and called police. White said the body parts appeared to be those of Martin's 31-year-old girlfriend, according to the Sun-Times. The couple lived together in Kentucky, where other body parts were found, according to White. So I guess he was just going to scatter them all over the country. While the remains we have here have the advantage of dental records, and then, of course, there's DNA. Of course, the upper torso remains in Kentucky, so the level of their forensics, I'm sure, mirrors ours. So I'm quite sure that the victim is going to prove identification. He's charged a felony count of being a fugitive from justice.
All right. That's interesting.
Yeah, but I think the fourth guess, you would have nailed that.
Yeah. I got a story for you.
I don't know how you're comfortable just traveling with fucking dead body.
Well, here's one for you. Ready?
Hit me.
Horse skeleton seized at Florida mail sorting facility.
Why?
Dude, someone tried to mail a horse skeleton from Hungary to the United States.
What are they going to do with it? Display it?
I have no idea because they said it's just unusual and it needs to be it needed to be
You have to claim it or something?
you had to first
customs or
get
something?
you had to get what did they say here? They said that it needed a required veterinary service permit. And basically they're just going to keep it. So there's no horsing around this Halloween.
That was a dad joke.
Well, it was part of the article.
You didn't come up with that one on your own.
No.
All right, last story of the day. You have any stories other than that?
Yeah, I got a couple things.
All right, want me to hit my last one, then you can hit me?
Sure.
All right. So, man denies turning his house into a restaurant, despite giant neon sign outside. It's exactly how it sounds. So, out front of this dude's house, it's just a straight up like regular home, 2-story home, and over top of the front door in neon it says Orlando's. This is a fucking big sign. So it says, walking down Earlham Road in Norwich. This is obviously in England. I get most of my stories from there. You might be forgiven for doing a double take and wondering whether there's a restaurant nestled amongst the houses on this peaceful city street. That's because one of the properties has a rather unmissable neon sign hanging above the doors, which proclaims the place is Orlando's to passersby. Underneath of Orlando's, over top of the door, it says Sakura. So it's like fucking fine Chinese dining. But the homeowner, Orlando William, insists that he hasn't turned his 7-bedroom house into a Japanese restaurant, despite his neighbors' claims to the contrary.
All right, time out. His name's Orlando.
Mm-hmm.
Japanese in Orlando.
What?
I'm out.
No.
I'm out.
It's going to be good food. People
be
living in the
disgusting.
residential street have told Norwich City Council that Mr. Williams has been running a restaurant from his home since October of 2018. Congrats on 2 years, Orlando. The claim has been that he's been doing so without proper permission. Subsequently, the city council has been forced to investigate the property to discover whether he is breaching planning regulations. Here's the best part. Williams, who used to run a different Japanese restaurant on Bear Street in Norwich, denies that he's done anything wrong.
Of course.
Speaking to the Eastern Daily Press, Williams said, "All I do is I have my name on my house." He added, "There's no restaurant here. As well as having the neon sign on the front of his premises, the word Sakura is also written on the door, which is the name of his previous restaurant business. A Facebook account for Sakura Japanese still exists and now features an Earlham Road address, which matches that of Orlando's. To further fuel the fire, a different Facebook post from October suggested Orlando's is a Japanese barbecue and sushi restaurant. So it's recent. A woman shared a photo of a leaflet advertising the eatery, writing, "Hey, beautiful people, come and visit Orlando's. Open every day from 4 to 10 p.m. Located at Earlham Road, Norwich, NR4 7HW." That's the dude's address. Norwich City Council has reportedly visited the property several times, but has not been able to fully determine whether it's being used as a restaurant. They say that they are continuing to look into the issues.
This dude's brilliant.
I fucking love it. The fact that like every time they show up, he's like, "Ain't no restaurant here. Ain't nothing going on."
Yeah, imagine if he walks
like they
up.
show up with the flyer, like it says right here. I didn't make that. That's one of the neighbors.
Imagine he walks outside with his apron on, like sweaty, like,
yeah.
like, what's up? We're here to check out and see your restaurant. No restaurant.
Hey, no restaurant here,
No restaurant
but
here.
I have a reservation. What time is it for? Is it? Nah, not here. Not here.
No, you must be mistaken. It must be on the other.
It must
side
be
of
the other
street.
Orlando's. I would say that the flyers could legit be one of the neighbors just throwing it out there to like fucking try to keep the investigation going on. You know what I
No,
mean?
dude, they're definitely him. Come on, dude. Facebook post, flyers, everything, restaurants, for like
believe him.
hours,
I believe that it's just his home and
Definitely
he
a
has his name
restaurant.
on his house.
Yeah.
I believe him.
and his friends are coming over for dinner, right?
A lot.
He's a lot of friends.
A lot.
He does. He has a lot of friends.
And they dress well.
Yeah.
How fucking great would it be if like the department came up and the guy's like, "Are you valeting today?" Like he's got a guy out front that parks cars for him.
Yeah. Oh my god.
What do you got?
So, first, I want to know how your cracker challenge is going.
Listen, I'm still in training.
Okay.
That's
All right.
it. I'm in training.
Okay.
I'm in training to break a world record. It's true, if you haven't heard. We haven't nailed down a date as to when this is going to go down, but yeah, I'm in training.
All right. So, a New Jersey man folds 18 pizza boxes in 1 minute for a world record.
Is he the guy from the Domino's commercials?
No, just some guy.
Just some random dude?
Yeah.
We
So-
really got to vet out this book and just go through and go, I can beat that one. I can beat that one. And like, let's just do like a series of challenges.
Dude, but 18 pizza boxes. And he said basically, when we're slow, he's like, they just fold boxes and they just have fun with it. And he said he never thought he could really, like, it would never be anything.
But now he has a world record.
Of
Pretty big
folding
deal.
pizza
It's
boxes.
a pretty big deal.
Yeah. Also, I got another one.
God.
Man chops through 40 thrown apples while juggling knives.
I can picture it.
There's video.
I can picture it. So basically somebody's tossing apples at him and he's juggling them and he just keeps chopping up the apples.
Yeah.
On the 41st one, did it end with him getting hit with the apple?
I didn't watch the video.
Oh.
But his name's David Rush, and he has broken more than 150 Guinness records to promote STEM education. He's estimated enlisted the help of
One of his
neighbor-
records is having the most records.
Yeah.
He's a professional. They shouldn't allow him in there.
The record was 36 and he beat it by 4.
Was he the guy who had 36?
No. He's had 41 crab apples in 1 minute. Why is everything with the Guinness book like 1 minute?
They're not. Some of the other ones are like, they're more like stamina.
All right. Here's my last story. And now we've all had ramen noodles, right?
Yeah, I love the ramen.
Okay. So Top Ramen is offering $10,000 for a chief noodle officer.
Okay.
Basically, what they said is they're going to pay someone $10,000 to help develop and test the new ramen noodle soup recipes.
I'm out.
Their manufacturer, Nissan, announced it will seeking a chief noodle officer with a passion for noodles to help test out new ramen recipes for the company. Interested candidates are being instructed to post photos and recipes of their own top ramen creations to social media, and the winner will be selected by celebrity judge Melissa King, a recent winner of Top Chef All Stars LA. The winner will receive $10,000, the chance for a one-on-one mentorship with Nissan CEO Mike Price, and a 50-year supply of various top ramen products.
I'm out on that.
Why
I
are
like
you-
ramen, but I'm gonna assume that some of that shit's spicy and I don't fucks with it.
That's the only reason you're out?
Yeah, because I know that I'm gonna get stuck eating shit I don't want to eat.
But that's it.
Yeah, that's it. It's the only reason. I'm not very picky on what I eat, but
So let me ask you a question.
you
So-
can't eat anything today. Like people mistake spice for flavor.
Correct.
Like people will fire hot sauce and it's like the hottest. Well, you got to give it a kick. You don't have to give anything a kick.
Correct.
Like when I see people, they're eating hot wings and it's like, well, what level of hot sauce are you have? And it's like, well, it's burn your mouth, fuck your wife, fantastic. And it's like, yeah, that's not delicious.
Yeah, no, I went for the mild, like just that little taste. Like,
yeah.
I got some taste. And
But
I can
What's the
taste the
point?
chicken.
Like I'm talking, what the fuck's the scale? There's a scale on the Scoville, the Scoville scale. Like once, like I've watched the show Hot Ones and like I see them and I know that there's people that will actually eat these wings, not for entertainment. Like they'll eat them because they enjoy hot, spicy stuff. And it's like, you're not getting anything else other than hot and spice.
What is fun about eating hot shit that makes your eyes tear?
Stupid, dude.
Anyway,
I
listen.
don't understand it.
So
I got another story too. 'cause
they
you just
said-
reminded me of something.
they said post your creations
Yeah.
on.
So
Wait.
Lay's does this every year.
Let me finish.
God,
So I want to know the dude that went to jail
yeah.
and he had top ramen.
Oh, he's got the Fifi.
Yeah.
Nice.
Like who's posting that? Like
That's
someone
awesome.
better post that, dude, and they should win.
the ramen, the prison flavor.
Yes.
So ramen
It's
probably
cheese
stays.
curls and ramen.
Yeah, ramen stays in business probably more than they know because of prisons. They probably fucking ship so many of that of their noodles to prison because that's like a fucking delicacy there.
Mm-hmm.
But so
Because you
Lay's
can
does
eat
this.
them dry, wet, put some other stuff in them.
Yeah, Lay's does this every year where they have it's pick a new flavor or whatever, and you have to come up with the flavor. And I had a good flavor a couple years ago, which actually leads into my next one. I was gonna say do like a macaroni and cheese and bacon flavored potato chip.
Okay.
It'd be banging.
I think that's out.
Yeah, I know. Somebody fucking won with that. I never got my submission in.
Well, what the fuck were you doing?
The same thing I always do. I'm a fucking idea guy and I don't have the fucking, I procrastinate and then somebody else comes up with it too. Parallel thinking, what do you want me to tell you?
All right.
So speaking of mac and cheese, Kraft Heinz has said that it will be removing all traces of a recent marketing campaign that encouraged fans to send nudes to distant loved ones amid the pandemic after it sparked a backlash from social media users. Kraft Macaroni and Cheese initially launched its campaign on October 6th,
What,
National
did they
Noodle Day.
think Nudes.
Hang on.
Oh.
As a way for its customers to offer love and comfort from a safe distance by filling out a form at a specific Kraft webpage or responding to the brand on Twitter in order to arrange for a free delivery of Kraft mac and cheese for family members or friends, courtesy of the brand. We're all seeking the comforts of home, traditions that bring us together, like sharing a box of Kraft macaroni and cheese. So when it says send nudes, that's literally, it has a fucking
Nudes. Noooods.
Noooods, and it has a picture of a bowl of mac and cheese and it's blurred out.
Mm-hmm.
Now listen, it's a fucking brilliant campaign. The problem is when kids get a hold of this and they're like, hey, Mom, can you send, I want to send nudes to my friend. Can you help me out? And the mom's like, the fuck did you say? Wait, what? When little fucking Mary says to Mom, I want to send nudes to my friend Jeff at school. Can you help me?
Whoa, what?
And Mom's like, wait, what? What now? And her dad's going, fucking Jeff's dead. He's going to die now, right?
Yeah, he's dead. Dead.
Somebody responded to their tweet and said, bad idea. Horribly irresponsible advertising. Kraft mac and cheese is a product loved by kids. People got enough problems. They don't need their kids hearing new terminology and getting new bad ideas while they're stuck at home.
Ugh. All right.
That's a terrible idea, right?
Yeah. All right.
And that's it.
All right.
That's our show for this week. We will be back here, same time next week, 6 to 7 p.m. Make sure you download and subscribe on all of your podcast
Apps.
platforms or apps. Make sure you get the downloads, and if you get a chance, just give us a review. It helps out with the stars. Yeah, we'll see you guys next week.
Later.